Listen to me carefully. That thing you're grinding for every single day, the bigger salary, the nicer house, the title, the body, the respect. I need you to hear this from someone who actually got all of it. It won't feel the way you think it will. My name is William, and I'm going to save you from a mistake that cost me the best years of my life. We all tell ourselves the same lie. I'll be happy when I get the promotion. I'll relax when the mortgage is paid off. I'll enjoy life when I retire. I said those exact words for decades. My whole life was built around that sentence. And then one day, I got everything on that list. The promotion, the house, the retirement, the respect, and the finish line moved. That's what nobody tells you. The moment you cross one finish line, another one appears further away. You think you're almost there, you push harder, you sacrifice more, and then you look up and realize you're no closer than when you started. I spent the best years of my life running toward something that didn't exist. Let me tell you where it all began. I grew up with very little. Not desperate, but poor enough to feel it. Poor enough to watch how people treated my father. He worked a factory job his entire life. Came home every night exhausted, hands rough and beaten, and people looked straight through him like he simply wasn't there. I was a young boy watching all of this, and something hardened inside me, a voice that said, "That will not be me. I will become somebody. I will make people respect me." So that became my entire mission. I worked obsessively. Long hours, late nights, sacrificed weekends. I missed my children growing up, missed birthdays, missed quiet evenings, missed moments I will never get back. But I told myself it was worth it. I was building something. I was becoming somebody important. And eventually I did. Corner office. My name on the door. People calling me sir, asking my opinion, treating me like I mattered. And I sat in that office one afternoon, alone, looking out over the city, and I felt completely hollow. Not tired, not ungrateful, just empty. Like I'd climbed an enormous mountain, reached the very top, and found absolutely nothing waiting for me there. Just another mountain, taller than the last. That moment should have woken me up immediately. Instead, it took me another 20 years to understand what it was telling me. Here is what I finally figured out. I was never chasing money. I was never chasing titles or status or that corner office. I was chasing a feeling. The feeling of being enough. The feeling that I mattered. That I was worthy of being here. That was the real hunger underneath everything. And I believed that if I just achieved more, climbed higher, eventually that feeling would arrive. It never did. Because that feeling cannot come from a job title. It cannot be earned from a paycheck. It cannot be extracted from other people's opinions of you. That feeling, I am enough, I could have given that to myself at any point in my life. I didn't need anyone's permission. I didn't need to prove a single thing to anyone. I just needed to decide. And I decided far too late. Something similar happened in my marriage. Different situation, same mistake. I thought my job was to provide. So I provided constantly. The house, the cars, every comfort money could buy. I thought that was love. I thought that was being a good husband. But my wife sat me down one evening and said something I will never forget. She said, "William, I don't need any of this. I need you. I need you to look at me. I need you to actually be here." And I genuinely didn't understand what she meant. I was there, wasn't I? Paying the bills, keeping everything running. What I didn't understand, what took me far too long to learn, is that there is a world of difference between providing for someone and being present with someone. You can share a home with a person for years and be completely absent. I know, because I did it. Now I look around at the people in my life and I notice something striking about who is genuinely happy and who isn't. The unhappy ones are still chasing, still comparing themselves to everyone around them, still keeping score. I know a man well into his 80s, comfortable, no real worries, and he is genuinely angry that his neighbor bought a nicer car recently. Still looking over the fence, still measuring his worth against someone else, absolutely miserable. And I know a woman who has spent her entire life cataloging everything she doesn't have. Her health, her family, her finances, always a problem, always a complaint. She will be this way until the day she dies because she is still waiting for something outside of her to change before she allows herself to feel okay. But then there are the others. There's a man I know, small flat, modest income, health isn't perfect, and he is one of the most genuinely content people I have ever met. He wakes up every morning curious about something, always reading, always asking questions, always finding something interesting in ordinary life. He told me once, "William, I spent most of my life trying to be somebody. Now I'm just trying to be here. And it's so much better." Same age as the others. Completely different inner world. That's the whole difference. People think freedom means financial security. Get enough money and you're finally free. I know people with more money than they could ever spend who are completely trapped inside their own heads. Worried about everything, unable to enjoy anything. The money didn't free them. It just gave their anxiety a more expensive address. Real freedom is something else entirely. Real freedom is when the things that used to destroy your mood, they just don't anymore. Someone says something unkind and it slides right off you. You stop needing every person in the room to approve of you. You stop performing for an audience that was never really paying attention. Real freedom is standing in front of a mirror and being genuinely okay with the person looking back. That's it. That's everything. Not needing anything outside of you to feel all right inside of you. Here's the trap I want you to really understand. You believe that once you achieve the goal, once you get the thing, you will finally feel satisfied. You won't. There is always another thing. Always. And here's what's even more unsettling. The fear doesn't leave when your circumstances improve. The fear simply finds something new to attach itself to. Pay one thing off, you worry about the next. Solve one problem, another surfaces immediately. That's not you failing, that's just life. That's how it works for everyone. The fear doesn't leave when your life gets better. The fear leaves when you change, when you genuinely decide that you are okay right now, not when everything is sorted, not when everything lines up perfectly, right now as things are. That is an inside job. No salary, no achievement, no other person can do that work for you. Everything I spent my life chasing, the titles, the money, the recognition, I didn't actually want those things. I wanted to feel safe. I wanted to feel like I mattered. I wanted to feel loved. And I was searching for all of those feelings in completely the wrong places. But here is what I know now. You don't earn those feelings. You don't achieve them. You accept them. You accept that they already belong to you, that you are already safe, already worthy, already enough. I'm still practicing believing that. Every single day. There is no finish line. There never was. You cross one and another appears. That's not a flaw in the system. That's just the nature of being alive. So if you are waiting for everything to be perfect before you allow yourself to be happy, hear me clearly. It will never be perfect. Something will always need fixing. Something will always feel missing. This is it. Right here, right now. This is your actual life, not the version that starts after the next promotion, not the version that begins when the debt is cleared. This version, now. If you cannot find some peace on the way to where you're going, you will not find it when you arrive. I have been there. The arrival never feels the way you imagined it would, so stop waiting. Stop lying to yourself with "I'll be happy when." That sentence stole years from me while I wasn't paying attention. You are already enough. You don't have to prove it to anyone. You don't have to earn it. You simply have to accept it. Everything you are searching for is already inside you. You just have to stop running long enough to find it. If something in this stayed with you, pass it on to someone who needs to hear it. And tell me in the comments, what are you still waiting for? What would actually change if you decided today that you were already enough?